Hey, what's up, guys? So yes, I know I'm a little late for my reviews, um, but I kind of got busy during this last week here, and I will be busy this upcoming week, so I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to get done for videos, but I will try and get them out as soon as possible. And so yes, so here we're gonna talk about the new episode of Gotham, which is called. Wrath of the Villains, Mr. Freeze. So, Wrath of the Villains, Mr. Freeze was the first episode after the long break it had. Because I think it ended in December and it went to March. So, it's a long wait. And so, the episode I thought was very cool, very fun. And I really am, now that Theo Galavan is dead, hopefully Mr. Freeze can fulfill that new villain role. Because I think we should have one villain primarily for half the season, kind of like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does it, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did half a villain, like in season 2 it did half a villain for season 2, like it had Daniel Whitehall as the villain for the first half, and then during the back half of the season it was kind of the Inhumans and Sky's mother. So, it worked like that to create them two villains, so then the series seems like two kind of separate seasons in within itself, but still connected. And so I really do like the fact that we are, kind of going with a villain that was not completely used the best the last time we saw him on screen. And I think Mr. Freeze is a good villain for the show because the character, from what I've seen in the episode, I thought the character was very well done. Something that I'd say a lot of shows lack and a lot of movies lack, like say the Marvel movies, kind of, besides some of them, the villains aren't, we don't learn a whole lot about them. We just learn, oh, I'm a bad guy, there's nothing else about it. I'm just a bad guy, and I'm just going to wipe out the planet or take control of the planet or whatever. But no. Sorry, guys. He is, Mr. Freeze is trying to save his wife. We all know that story. And he's trying to freeze her, and then that'll try and cure the disease, and then he'll try to bring her back. That's all his game. He wants to just save his wife. He isn't trying to hurt people, I'd say, but when people get in his way, he's got to take care of the situation, and, that's how the story goes. But, definitely, I'm really thinking that this is going to play a big part in the rest of the season, in the rest of the season 2. And another thing that's going to be playing a big thing is the Arkham storyline. And I think the Arkham storyline is going to be very interesting because we're going to see what Hugo Strange is all about and what Arkham Asylum is. Because also, Arkham Asylum has never been shown in the movies or the TV shows or anything. Well, kind of in the animated shows, but nothing in live action, I'd say. Just in the video games and stuff like that, and some TV shows. But we never really have seen it, on screen like this. And to see kind of now that Hugo Strange is there, played by B.D. Wong, which is pretty cool and very interesting. It's going to be, and to see that the place is going to be a crazy madhouse, it's going to be pretty epic to see kind of what's going to happen and how everything is going to unfold down there. Well, in there. Because I don't think they're going to kill off B.D. Wong's character just yet, or, try and break that down. I'd like to see him actually make it, and him become a villain of the Batman, Batman actually, not just, Gord, of the like the pre-2 Batman. So like I said, really interesting because right at the end of the episode, we saw that guy gouge his eyes out. Well, had his eyes gouged out. And Penguin's just like, oh shit, something's gonna happen to me. And then B.D. Wong, he's like, all right, we're gonna use some stuff. We're gonna be, to break down the Penguin and it's just interesting to see this happen. And I'm gonna be really looking forward to next week to the break, how they break a Penguin down, which is gonna be interesting. And so moving on to the big storyline, which I felt like is a big one, and that is, I think that Gordon's big secret is going to play a huge, huge thing on the back half of the season, because it already played a huge thing in this episode because there was a trial right at the beginning for him to, for his confession if he killed Theo Gallivan or not, which he didn't. Well, he did, but he says he did. And so it's very interesting to see kind of what is going to happen, if because I'm sure the captain is going to find out eventually, and it is going to be interesting. But something I really would like to point out is, isn't it interesting how the season 1 mid-season return started at Arkham Asylum, and then now it still has that Arkham thing. Yeah, I just want to point that out, And I don't know if you guys caught this, but when Mr. Freeze breaks into the medicine shop goes in the medicine shop the first time to get the medicine, and he doesn't get it. He's like, "I'll be back." And I was wondering, is that a reference to Arnold Schwarzenegger? I don't know if it is, but it might be. So I kind of just pointed that out, which is kind of funny, But I really think that Mr. Freeze is going to be a cool villain. I'm really looking forward to what he's going to be about. I think he really does care about his wife. He's really doing this for her, and I can kind of see that because he was going to turn himself in to save his wife, and it's going to be interesting to see, because Gordon, I'd say he's in the same situation as him, but he's taking it from a different standpoint, because he is going to do whatever it takes to protect his wife, and protect his city and stuff like that. And, he's going to have to make some tough choices, and so did Mr. Freeze, And finally, at the end, he figured out how to make the cooling process, actually work so she can be alive. And so he confessed at the end of the episode, and he's like, before Gordon came and got him, he's just like, you know what, I'm walking out. No, I'm going to save you, honey, and I'm going to come and get you. Which is very interesting. I'm really looking forward to next week's episode. I really think this back half of the season is going to be interesting. If they keep Mr. Freeze in there, it's going to be interesting to see kind of where they can go with him. And especially with the Arkham storyline and what's going to happen with Gordon's actual storyline, it's going to be interesting. So, I'd give this episode definitely a 4.5 out of 5 winks. I think the episode was very strong. Nothing I can really say negative about it. Maybe just something maybe I would have. I don't know what. I think it did good. It had a good start. I think this is a good start. I think it was better than last year's first episode that they had in the new year. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this rest of the season. And I think that Gotham is probably going to start picking up now and start to be a little bit good. Even it's had hints of good in there. It's had some good episodes, but now, now it's gonna really start picking up because it's gonna have a lot more character stuff and it's some interesting things going on. So, yeah, guys, that's about it. And I'm Jay Wink, and I'm waking out. See you guys later.